Alright, Shalom. Before I get started, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechakwadash. Double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today. Start with Elder Parts Tahar on down. I also like to give double honors to the head and the elder of the Man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I also like to give another shout out to you, sincere Akim, you brothers out there that's pushing this word and this truth and all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. All right, to y'all, like to say shalom. All right, now coming back to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai with another exhortation video. Lord willing, the video be found edifying to you, Akim. All right, that's listening or tuning in. All right, and pretty much, I wanted to do a lesson. All right, it's a reel that was on YouTube. I think I saw it on TikTok originally, but I had to pull it back up on YouTube because I couldn't find it. I think I did, but I didn't save it. But anyway, I pulled it back up on YouTube, so I could easily find it. But anyway, I see the brother, he did some clips on it. And I kind of had the spirit to do the lesson on it when it kind of like first came out, but I didn't because I was doing other videos. But anyway, let me put this on mute. But anyway, it was this Zion, coon, and, she pretty much got up and was talking about, I don't want to hear nothing about this racist shit, about Trump and all this bullshit. How he did stuff for the black community and all this bullshit. It just goes to show you how people still trusting these devils, man. They still trusting Egypt, like the scriptures say. Not knowing that this is our enemy. That this man don't have no type of love for you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right? And not only that, they probably paid her, to say all this bullshit, man. To feed our people, to continue to feed our people lies, man. And false hope that this man is a good man. The scriptures say there's no good Edomites, man. The scriptures tell you that. The scriptures tell you not to trust thy enemy. But what do our people continually do? Trust in them. Matter of fact, last year, when Trump was running for his term, you had Northern Kingdom woman pretty much getting up and screaming, we love you, Trump, and all this bullshit. Then, soon as all that deporting shit came up, she talking about something. He felt us. I forgot how she said it, but pretty much she was like, you could tell she was mad. Like, we trusted him, we voted for him, But before this shit, before he was starting to deport you niggas, you Northern Kingdom, y'all was praising this man. You see, that's why we say you can't trust the so-called white man, because he's bound to snake you, He's bound to snake you. That's his nature, is to snake you, But anyway, I'm gonna play this clip, cause y'all gonna see what I'm talking about, man.
I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about that racist stuff. And don't be looking at me on the news hating on me because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to be standing up for. Get off the man's back. Let him do his job. He's doing the right thing. Back up off of him. And Grandma said it. I love him.
See, she basically defending this man. With all the bullshit this man is doing, she's defending him. Although the Lord is, having him do it, which, we're not complaining because, he's pretty much having prophecy be fulfilled. But still, though, why would you trust a man that's doing all this bullshit? Why would you even have a man back like that? He's trying to have it to where you niggas get deported. And she'll be the main one that get her dumb ass deported. Talking about get off his back. He's doing his job. Okay, he gonna do his job when he have your ass get deported. Then you gonna be looking stupid. And the Lord, and see what's so crazy? The Lord would, mock your ass like that, man. Talking about get off his back. He doing his job. I don't want to hear nothing about that racist shit. Okay, he'll be racist when he deport you then. You see, although you a so-called legally, you legal here. He'll be wrong if he deport you. When you're a so-called citizen of the United States, he'll be wrong for deport you then. Cause he'll do shit like that, you know. I'm gonna play it one more time, then we're gonna get some scriptures, man.
I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about that racist stuff. And don't be looking at me on the news hating on me because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to be standing up for.
You standing up for a so-called white man, but you can't stand up for the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You can't stand up for our people, though. I ain't even talking about the elect standing up for us, but just standing up for just 2/3 at that, you know? Somebody who's doing something positive. You over here defending this so-called white man. Do you stand up for the so-called black man like that? Do you have his back like that? You know? I wonder.
Get off the man's back. Let him
do. And that's why I said they probably paid her, you know, to do this. To you know, feed our people lies. You know, that all so-called white people not bad. But we'll see in that day, man, because the Lord is going to show you why we say the so-called white man is the devil.
I don't want to hear nothing you got to say.
And that you can't trust this man.
About that racist stuff. And don't be looking at me on the news hating on me because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to be standing up for. Get off the man's back. Let him do his job. He's doing the right thing. Back up off of him. And Grandma said it.
And brother made a good point too. GMS inspiration, motivation, that brother. He made a valid point. You would think, considering her age, I think he said she probably about 50, 60 years old. You would think that she done seen enough. She done had enough of this place. She know these devils ain't gonna change. Matter of fact, there's a song, all right, that Kodak made a while back, and it said, "It's the white man world, no love for black folks, a different president, but it's the same shit though." No matter who's in office, it's gonna be the same shit for you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It's not gonna get better. It's only gonna get worse, man. That was some real shit he said in his song. No, I'm gonna say it again. This was the lyric. This the white man world, no love for black folks, a different president, but it's the same shit though. It's the same shit. She done seen the same shit happen over and over. You would think like, God damn, it ain't nothing but the same shit gonna happen. I mean, she done seen the era where these devils was more than fucking likely. She done seen it, the era where, you know, these white people had hatred towards you niggas. But anyway, man, let's get some scriptures. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 31 and verse 1. And it says, woe. And that word woe means what? Death or destruction, right? Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. And we know Egypt, you know, means what? Bondage, right? But the Egypt that it's speaking on is America. All right, because America is modern day Egypt. All right. And who's ruling Egypt? Modern day Pharaoh, which are you so-called white people. So y'all trusting in this so-called white nation. So it said, woe to him that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because there are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh Shai. You see, y'all going down to Egypt. Y'all going down to seek counsel from the wicked, the so-called devil. Y'all trying to get justification from the so-called white man. Y'all got the so-called white man back, but don't got the Lord and his prophets back. That's a hypocrite, you know? Because it says because they are, it says because, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, need to seek the Lord. So y'all going down and helping the so-called white man, but not helping the so-called, y'all helping the so-called white man, but not helping the Lord, man, and his prophets. You see, y'all doing all this for the so-called white man, but can't do this for the Lord. Y'all got the so-called white man back, but don't got the prophets back. I mean, although we don't care about y'all having our back, at the end of the day, the Lord got our back. You know? That's all that matter at the end of the day. But I'm just saying, though. Y'all trusting the enemy and not trusting in Yahweh Shem Shah. That's a carnal mindset. And that's why, 230 you niggas just gotta die, man. Zechariah 13 and verse 8. And it should come to pass that in all the land, all right, that land that it's talking about is speaking of America. It said, and it should come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah, 2 parts therein should be cut off and die, but the third should be left therein. You see, so that means 230 niggas is going to have to die over here in the land of America. 2/3 of, let's just say you have 1/3 of a whole pie. 2/3 of that pie is gone, is wiped off. But only 1/3 of that pie is going to be left, and that's a small fraction. Matter of fact, let me, 2/3 of a pie. So basically, it would look something like this. The purple, it was all gonna be ate up and die, and then what's in the white, that's it. So you're gonna have a small fraction that's gonna stay alive and not die, but that 2/3 is gonna die. The one that's in the purple, they're the ones who trusted in this place, took the MOTB or whatever. The ones in the white, hey, they're the ones who did righteous. You know? So a lot of you niggas gonna die. Part of the reason being because y'all trusted in this devil. And y'all trusting in him on a low level. Just imagine when something great happened when the MOTB come to pass, man. Something that's great on a greater scale. Y'all really gonna take it in. Some of y'all not trusting this devil right now because, it ain't too much going on, in y'all lives. But when shit really hit the fan, that's when y'all gonna really trust in this man. Y'all gonna really trust in taking in his MOTB and shit like that. That's why we telling y'all now don't trust him on lower level, because when shit really hit the fan, y'all really have to trust in him. Well, be forced to trust in him. Y'all gonna give in. Speaking of myself first and foremost, I ain't excluded. I can't trust in this man. But 230 niggas gonna die because of this reason right here, because of mindsets like her. Y'all gonna have to die on this side. Let's go back. It should come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah, 2 parts therein should be cut off and die, but the third should be left therein. And that's the 1/3 in the great multitude. It's going to be left therein. So let's go over now to the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. And it says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So yeah, this man may come on calmly, and not harmful. But the scripture said what? Never trust him. Why? Because for like as iron rusted, right? Let's just say, for example, you got a brand new car, and you let that car sit in the elements, the sun specifically. You let that car sit in the sun for, I'm talking about scorching hot sun, for days without covering it up. Eventually, that paint is gonna rust off, and you're gonna start to see, the rust on the car because the paint is covering the rust, So eventually, you're gonna, once that car starts sitting in that sun for a period of time, eventually you're gonna see the iron under the paint. And what's gonna happen? You're gonna start to see that car for what it truly is. You're like, damn, I don't even want this shit. No, that'd be your mindset. You don't really want this shit no more because it's all rusted up, the paint fading away. You be like, damn. That's the same way with this devil. You make yourself look all painted up, look nice, presentable, but not knowing that this man he's rusted. He's wicked. He's a wicked man. You can't trust nobody like that. Like the scripture said, man, he's a he's a wolf in sheep clothing, man. Although that's, speaking of false prophet, but he's a wolf in sheep clothing. You make yourself look nice and all presentable, and the whole time he just wicked. He don't care nothing about you so-called Negroes and Hispanics and Native Indians, yet y'all still proceed to trust in this man for whatever reason. Let's get this last scripture, man. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 20. It said, and it should come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, that's the elect, right? It said, and it should come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob should no more again stay upon him that smote them, but should stay upon our Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, and truth. You see that? So the elect, we're not going to trust in this devil and this system no more. Once we woke up to this knowledge and this truth and this understanding, we're not going to trust in this devil no more. But did it say anything about the 2/3? No, because y'all going to continue to trust in this man, although he's still putting hell on y'all, man. Matter of fact, I want to get that word smoke.
Strong's H 5221. Nacha. Nacha.
Nacha. And it says, I'm going to go down. It says, to smite, kill, slay, man or beast. To smite, attack, destroy, conquer, subject, ravage. See, that's what Esau did to the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He beat us down. He slayed us. He killed us. Conquered us. Raped us. Yeah, y'all still want to trust in him. Hey, y'all want to trust in him? So be it. I'm going to leave it at that. Lord willing, this video was edifying to whoever may have watched. Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm going to close it with giving all praise and glory to the Father, Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rechakudash. Double honor to the elders, apostles, the great millstone, who rule well and teach well.